Whenever managing any tech project, it is critical to follow these steps in order without exception. That is, from the top to the bottom. There is nothing more important than this. Remember, tech people have a habit of trying to distract you with technical details in order to secure power. They're often not even aware of their own behavior. Do not let them get away with this. Follow these principles without exception. Don't let them manipulate you into thinking they know something you don't. Do not let them distract you with technical details that are usually irrelevant. Step number 1 is defining the problem we are solving for human beings. And what is the user experience, that is the workflow, they will follow to solve the problem? Is this workflow consistent with what a human being can reasonably be expected to do under the circumstances? Remember, do not get into the technical details, because if you do, you won't focus on the humans. Step number 2, we define our success metrics. They must be meaningful to the cause. For example, we don't measure the success of AI on how quickly we deploy it. That would be patting ourselves on the back. We measure it on how it impacts the humans. Higher quality results, quicker results with lower cost, people are satisfied and happy. Another example is we don't measure our success in alternative social networks like Blue Sky on only the number of subscribers. That's only one metric. More importantly, we measure the amount of engagement and time spent on the issues that are most important to us. Step number 3 is to brainstorm on the kind of workflow and features that might be best to achieve the objectives we just created. Once we choose which option to pursue, we can do a high-level design and then move to step number 4, where we can consider all the technical details. This is the easiest part. It's tedious, but if we don't get the above right, this will fail. This is where we do the engineering, testing, operational deployment, and so on. And then finally, step number 5, where we measure the results against the above success metrics and immediately adjust as needed. This is often skipped because management doesn't want to be held accountable. Hold them accountable at the most senior and board level without exception. A lot of this may sound obvious, but in an organization, this is difficult to enforce when so many people are scrambling to impress with limited resources. There is a term for this process, design assurance, and it is up to management to ensure this is done as top priority. As a tech executive who was leading cybersecurity and AI for a multi-billion-dollar company, I can assure you that there is nothing more important than this. I spent a lot more time on this than on the tech, despite having a hardcore engineering background and managing many hardcore engineers. Why so much emphasis on the background of this problem and design assurance before we discuss the Project Vulcan details? Quality starts with intent and process, like a craftsman or craftswoman, always improving, understanding your environment, understanding your customers, and so on. That's the 10%, those who have the focus and the time. There is always a fight in the masses to cut corners and get to glory quick. What is needed at this point in time, more than anything, is upgrading our discourse to the digital age, but with a deep emotional understanding of what is at stake, the environment we are living in, and an ongoing commitment to solve this problem despite the obstacles. Above the clouds, you can see so clear. 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 Above the clouds, above the clouds.